Today, cleanup continues after a deadly and devastating storm ripped through our area on Thursday, knocking down power poles, destroying homes and businesses. At this hour, you know, at least 8 people have died, the most recent from carbon monoxide poisoning. And breaking right now, HISD Superintendent Mike Miles approving students to go home from Heights High School. The school's power is restored, but the AC remains out. HISD's Pershing Middle School is also dealing with AC issues, but has not been released for the day. Our crews are on scene at Pershing and say parents are picking up their children. Good afternoon, I'm Sherman Chow. Right now, CenterPoint is reporting more than 218,000 customers remain without power. In just the last 24 hours, crews have gotten the lights back on for nearly 285,000 customers. CenterPoint has also updated its restoration map that includes estimated time frames to get your power back up in your neighborhood. You can find a link at KHOU.com. And if you or loved one is still without power, we want to let you know help is coming. What you just saw on the outage tracker shows how much progress has been made. And take a look at this video shot from Air 11 this morning. Look at all the CenterPoint crew trucks set up at NRG as crews are working day and night to get that AC and power back on for you. All right, Kim Castro, with all that said, the big question is, how hot is it going to get today?
Sherman, it does get really toasty this afternoon. We're tracking those high temperatures in the low 90s. I really feel for all those people without power. Also, the energy crews working in this kind of heat. Not only are we talking about very warm temperatures, low 90s, but with the humidity added on top of that, by the peak heating of the day, by 4 o'clock, it's actually going to feel like 96 to around 97 degrees for the Houston area. Lots of us feeling like we're close to the triple digits. Katie's feeling today gets up to 98. Wharton gets up to 99. A live look at current temperatures right now, anywhere between the mid to upper 80s, 87 degrees in Tomball this afternoon for the lunch hour. Same deal for the big airport. Sugar Land, you're sitting at 86. Now again, factoring that humidity, the upper 80s already feel like the low 90s. So if you are one of those folks that's without power right now, what can you do to help mitigate this situation? I know lots of parents are dealing with kids not at school. They're dealing with their pets. You know that one particular room in the house that gets a little bit hotter, maybe it's the kitchen because you're cooking, or maybe it's the living room because of all the windows. Seal off that room to at least take advantage of the rest of the house spaces to cool off a little bit. Take cold showers if you can. Check on your neighbors, especially the elderly that might be alone. And again, just try to block those windows to keep the sun out, Sherman.
All right, thank you very much, Kim. We'll talk with you in a couple more minutes. Meanwhile, employees at Independence Hall in North Houston are defending themselves this noon hour after Houston Mayor John Whitmire said that they abandoned their tenants when the power went out after Thursday's storm. Ugochi Iloka has been there all morning. So, Ugochi, what is staff saying?
Yeah, they're saying a lot. They're saying this afternoon they're doing their best to help residents. Right now, the power has been restored here at Independence Hall. If you see the sign over here, you can see that this property services people who are living with disabilities or who are seniors. Many are still dealing with the aftermath of the storm this afternoon. Now, this is video of a Houston Public Works vehicle showing up to the apartment complex within the last 2 hours. I asked the worker if they were inspecting buildings because Mayor Whitmire called the conditions here deplorable, and he referred me to the city. Now, ice bags were given to residents without power for days at the complex Sunday. Mayor John Whitmire got a firsthand look at the damage Sunday at some of the apartment units. One tenant told me she lost about $200 worth of food when they lost power Thursday.
I've lost food, and it's that's where all of my meat went bad. Got no money to replace it, none of that. And I can understand one of the managers because of a family emergency, but the other two I don't know why they just up and just bolted like that and left us dry and hanging like this.
Yeah, the property management company for Independence Hall sent this statement about the claim that the site personnel were here at the property Thursday night to assess damage and help any residents. That's what they're claiming, residents in need there that have since been on site personnel every day since Thursday. They also say they are in the process of securing temporary air conditioning units for any residents who are in need. Now, we reached out to the mayor's office to see if they had any comment on what Independence Hall is saying. saying, actually during this live report, they just responded to me. If you give me a moment here, I will take a look and see what they said. Yes, so we're hearing from the city here that their team will be out here today to make an official assessment on the conditions here at Independence Hall. That's coming in just now in our email at 12:04. We'll keep you posted on what they find out here later. Reporting live in North Houston, Ugochi Iloka, KHOU 11 News.
All right, truly up-to-the-minute news. Thank you, Ugochi. And today, Mayor Whitmire is asking people to stay out of downtown Houston if you can. Several streets are closed as crews continue cleaning up broken glass and other debris from the storm. This map shows the area being called the exclusion zone. Stephanie Whitfield has been there all morning. So, Stephanie, how are things looking?
After working through the weekend, things look a lot better downtown, but this is going to take a really long time. There are still shards of glass all over the street and on the sidewalk. And take a look. This is the Wells Fargo Plaza. It's one of the tallest buildings in the country. You can see a lot of the windows have been boarded up, but if you look right across the street at this building, the process is just getting started. Glass is still falling. Days after violent winds wreaked havoc on buildings in downtown Houston, crews spent the weekend cleaning up outside. Now, Russell White with Cotton Global Disaster Solutions says they're shifting attention inside. Cotton is handling repairs at 5 of the 7 damaged skyscrapers.
But the process moving forward is obviously stabilizing the interior of the buildings where they've had issues with the windows blown out, and then getting the windows boarded up. And then we'll start looking at replacement, and that's going to take some time.
He says 350 workers are already on site. As a safety precaution, the city of Houston has shut down 6 blocks where damage is the worst.
Made the decision to lessen the travel by asking city employees to remain home. The business community is cooperating, closing some of their facilities. So together we're protecting that downtown footprint.
We're told crews are working around the clock to get things back to normal. But the reality is, putting downtown Houston back together will likely take months. Again, the big message today is to avoid downtown if you can. Not only is there still glass on the sidewalk, but as you can see, there's still a risk of falling glass today as repairs continue today. Stephanie Whitfield, KHOU 11 News.
Oh, what a mess there and elsewhere. Metro planning to detour around that exclusion zone today. Park and ride services, with the exception of routes that travel to the Texas Medical Center, will be suspended today. Bus shuttles will run the Metro Rail Red Line route from Burnett TC to North Line TC. That's north of downtown. And we're told the Metro Rail will reopen once power is restored. And finally, if you use the 290 HOV lane, that'll be closed today as well. Now grab your cell phone or a pen for this next story. You may want this information. We will leave this up for a few seconds so you can snap a picture with your phone or maybe scribble down information you need. As temperatures rise today, do not underestimate the heat. On your screen right now, you can see the addresses to several cooling centers. Many will also have outlets to charge your devices. We will also have this full list at KHOU.com.